The Last Room of the Elite Season 3 Episode 5, and another great episode. Man, I have to say that this episode went a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an episode focused around the rumors and the spreading rumors and not necessarily stopping there, maybe going somewhere else. But for it to end in this episode, that was what I was surprised about, because I thought, like I said already, that maybe it was going to go into the next episode, that the rumors were spreading still or something like that. But man, I was surprised a lot to see it end in this episode, and also in the way it ended. I thought it was going to end in a way worse way than it did, because it didn't even end badly, to be honest. It actually ended up well, in a very good place for all the people involved, especially for Ichinose, that although she did suffer a little bit in this episode, at the end of the day we can say that she came out of this better than she entered it, because now she doesn't have anything to hide. She has the trust of everyone. There's no rumors about her, although she did suffer a little bit in this episode. At the end of the day, ended up being happier than at the beginning. So yeah, that was actually pretty good to see. And we can see in this episode that, of course, the one that were spreading the rumors are actually Class A. Although interestingly enough, I'm not interpreting the information wrong, I think it was Ayanokouji, the one that told everyone about Ichinose's past. Because again, if I'm not gathering the information wrong, I think it was Kushida that gave Ayanokouji the information about Ichinose, and Ayanokouji told one of the student council people to basically spread out the rumors or something like that. It was kind of confusing. What was that all about? But I think that is what it was trying to say, or maybe what Ayanokouji told the student council student was to tell the teachers to stop this whole thing, because I think that was also Ayanokouji the one that told the teachers to basically tell the student council president, in this case Nagumo, to basically confront Sakayanagi in order to stop all of this. I think he was also the one who pulled that off. So yeah, maybe he did those things, although now I'm doubting myself if he was the one that, you know, basically spread the information about Ichinose being the one that stole in the past, because Sakayanagi was, you know, sort of very confident about this information. I don't know, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. And another thing that was surprising about all of this is that Ayanokouji wasn't actually that invested in all of this. He wasn't even, you know, looking at Sakayanagi or Ichinose and their problems. Of course, he participated in it. He basically helped out Ichinose, you know, by calling the teachers and by basically making her confess, even though he was the one that spread the rumors. He helped her out in a twisted way. But yeah, even though he wasn't really that invested in Sakayanagi and Ichinose, he still managed to solve everything out. The reason why I say he wasn't invested in all of this is because it is confessed at the end or middle of the episode that all of this was just some on the side that Ayanokouji was doing. All of this was basically to test out the information that Kushida had about the, I guess you can say, people, about her information in general, because that was basically what Ayanokouji was trying to do. He was trying to test the information that Kushida had, and if it was actually valuable, then yeah, she was a danger and she needed to be, you know, ejected or exposed or whatever you want to call it from the whole school. And if the information that she had was not that usable, then I mean, she wasn't really a problem. So yeah. So yeah, it is pretty surprising to say that although Ayanokouji did this, did that, you know, basically manipulated Ichinose, and in a way also manipulated Sakayanagi, even though she wasn't aware of it. Even though he was doing all of that, he wasn't actually really focused that much on that. He was actually focused more on testing Kushida out, and I gotta say that it worked perfectly, because not only did he get to test out Kushida, but he also got to test out Sakayanagi and what she had. He also gained the trust from Ichinose, and getting her trust is an understatement, because he actually gained more than just her trust. So yeah, he basically came out of this winning a lot, if I do say so myself. And I guess the most important thing and big thing that came out of this episode, and it is something that will definitely affect the whole season, it is that now Sakayanagi and Ayanokouji will face each other head on. No more using, you know, other people, no more proxies, no more indirect ways of fighting. Now they will actually face each other off, because in this episode we saw how Sakayanagi basically declared war on Ayanokouji, and yeah, I was surprised to see that. I thought that maybe Sakayanagi was going to use an underhanded way of facing Ayanokouji. She was not going to be that direct. She was going to be, you know, the person that she is, a very intelligent but also a cunning person. So yeah, I thought maybe she was going to do something like that, you know, use some sort of underhanded tactic. But like I said, no, she directly in this episode Kushida said to Ayanokouji, you know, if I lose, I will get myself expelled, and if you lose, then you don't have to do anything. Is she that confident that she will not lose? Is she that confident that she doesn't even want Ayanokouji to, you know, be expelled? Or maybe she's doing all of this because she gets a thrill, you know, because she's that type of person also. A type of person that wants to always be in danger, always be in war. Maybe she did that for just that reason alone, not necessarily because she's overconfident. Although I think it is a little bit of both things. I think she's that confident that she will win, and also she's that type of person also. You know, part of me thinks that she will not get expelled because she's that important to the whole anime and this whole season that I don't think she will get expelled. But when I think about that, I remind myself what the implications of that means. Because if she doesn't get herself expelled, then that would mean that Ayanokouji loses. And yeah, Ayanokouji doesn't have any consequences for losing, so losing to Sakayanagi wouldn't mean that much to him because he will still be in the school, but he does have to tell the whole classroom, and not just the whole classroom, but also the whole school, that he's the mastermind of Class C. But at the same time, I guess you can say that is more important to Ayanokouji than being expelled. So for Sakayanagi to tell him that, is basically telling him to be expelled, because Sakayanagi would rather be expelled than tell everyone that he's the mastermind. At least that is what I think he thinks. So yeah, although Sakayanagi, now that I think about it, doesn't actually tell him that, you know, you are going to be expelled or you need to get yourself expelled if you lose. It is basically another way of telling him that, because Sakayanagi knows the type of person that Ayanokouji is. Sakayanagi knows that Ayanokouji is not like her, that she's this person that is clearly, you know, the leader of Class A. He's the one that manipulates everything in the shadows. So maybe, I guess I can see Sakayanagi losing, but it is still pretty hard to grab her losing because that would mean getting herself expelled. But I guess that would be putting a lot of trust in Sakayanagi's word that she will get herself expelled, because she can just easily not fulfill her part of the terms. I can also see that happening, to be honest, pretty easily. So I mean, there is a lot of ways this can end up basically concluding. By the way, something really interesting was that the girl from Class A that talked to Ayanokouji, I think it was in the previous to last episode, was actually not telling the truth. She was actually, you know, a pawn of Sakayanagi, and Ayanokouji was actually aware of this. Of course, Ayanokouji was never going to fall for this trap, but yeah, it is pretty interesting to see that Sakayanagi used her as a way to get closer to Ayanokouji. Although, to be honest, I don't think Sakayanagi was trying to use her to basically make Ayanokouji's guard fall, because she knew that that was not going to happen. She knew that Ayanokouji was basically going to figure it all out, and yeah, he basically did. I think she was doing it because she wanted Ayanokouji to get involved in all of this, and I guess you can say it did work at the end because Ayanokouji got involved in all of it. So yeah, that was basically the whole episode. A lot of backstory about Ichinose, a lot of more character development for Sakayanagi, and yeah, in general, an episode where a lot of things happen, and also an episode where a lot of things come to an end, and also an episode where you look forward to the next episode, because this episode, one thing that it makes sure was that it made us all want to watch the next episode because of all the things that it introduced in this episode. For example, the declaration of war between Sakayanagi and Ayanokouji, the whole thing about Kushida. So yeah, like I said, in general, a very great episode. And if you don't want to miss the next episode review, please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you enjoyed the episode, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me, and I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.